hope you guys are having a great morning. It's been a good morning so far. Like Pastor Nate said, my name is Michael. I'm the middle school admissions pastor here at Calvary. And I'm just going to take a few minutes this morning and let you guys know about some of the trips we got going this year and just the ways that you can get involved in our missions ministry. To start off, just so you guys know, missions is just, it's a part of our church, whether it's right down the road or on the other side of the planet. We feel like we're called to serve and serve the people who are around us. And so to start off, we will be serving our local community at both the Denver Rescue Mission once a quarter and at Roundup River Ranch. How many of you guys have served at Roundup River Ranch before? Yeah, so quite a few of you. It's an awesome ministry. Actually, it's an organization down here just past Dotsero on Colorado River Road. And basically, Roundup River Ranch puts on a fun camp atmosphere for kids with serious illnesses and their families. And we don't actually attend the camp with the kids, but we help serve the staff by basically doing their laundry and cleaning up the trash after each week. And just talking and getting to know with the camp over the past couple of years, the impact we make just by doing that is absolutely incredible, and you don't see it when you're there. And so it's just an awesome way we can serve our community and also share Jesus with these workers. And another one is the Denver Rescue Mission. That is a ministry. It's down in Denver, and we're going to be going one Saturday, probably every 3 months, and we're just going to be serving meals to homeless and people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol. And what the Denver Rescue Mission does is they offer a place that these people can come, stay, and most importantly, hear about Jesus. And that's what we're going to get the opportunity to do. This would be a great one for families who have kids in high school. You have to be 14 years or older to go. And we have a sign-up sheet out in the lobby on our missions table, so if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you join us. Next, we have our Alaska missions trip. This year, it is June 8th through the 19th. And how many of you guys have been to Alaska before? So a few of you. This is an awesome ministry. We love the students and team up at Tenalian Bible Camp. It's truly a life-changing trip. I have yet to meet someone who's gone and not come back changed themselves. But the impact we make on these students' lives is absolutely incredible. And we all have the opportunity to do that. And so just a little bit about TBC. They serve over 500 Alaskan students from 31 different villages every summer. And so that's a huge impact. And it's all done through the love of Christ. And that's exactly what we want, and that's exactly what we want to get on board with. And so we are going to go, and if you have any questions about Alaska, there's probably someone within 50 feet of you now that's gone, and they would love to talk to you about Alaska. And I would love to talk with you. I'll be at the table in the lobby after service, and you can pick up an information card and just ways that you can get plugged in. Next, we have our Kenya missions trip, which is led by Pat and Janet Engel, and that will be June 27th through July 10th. For me personally, I have a pretty special place. Kenya has a pretty special place in my heart. It's where I met my wife. It's where I knew she was the one. She may not have known that yet, but I knew. I've gotten on a ton of trouble in Kenya. I've been many times. I've been twice, and for over 2 months one of the times, and some pretty crazy stories. But basically, this trip is for someone who is at all adventurous and just willing to serve at whatever capacity is asked. During the trip, the Engels put on a medical missions trip. So they go from 5 to 7 different villages throughout the week, and they give medical attention to people who they have no access to it at all. And then we're able to share through that medical camp. We're able to share the love of Christ and share our testimonies. They also visit an orphan girls' school. Now these girls, they have some pretty incredible stories, a lot of hurt, and they're all from the Maasai tribe. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's one of the biggest indigenous African tribes in all of Africa, and they have some pretty weird rules, and a lot of these girls have been through quite a bit, and they just need love. They just need to know that they are loved. And so that's, in a nutshell, what we kind of do in Kenya, and honestly, it's an amazing, amazing place. Like I said, I could talk your ear off about Kenya for hours. So if you have any questions about Kenya, I'd love to talk with you. I think the angles are gone, but they would love to talk with you, get a meeting set up. To finish up our missions trips for this year, we are going back to India, November 2nd through the 13th. And this trip has been led faithfully by the Deese family for over 10 years. And CCVB has gone with them now for this will be our 5th year going. And personally, this will be my 3rd year going. So I'm super stoked. Obviously, I loved it. I'm going back for a 3rd time. This is an incredibly eye-opening experience. The minute you hop on the plane in Newark to knowing that you're going to India, you just get this feeling of I'm making a difference. And you really are. The minute you walk off the plane, you're already ministering to people. And so what we do in India is we put on a vacation Bible school, and it's not your everyday vacation Bible school either. The kids range from 5 years old to 25 years old. And these 25-year-olds act like children. It's pretty intense. But these are kids who come from a Hindu and Muslim background. And they may never have heard the name Jesus ever. And so the minute you walk in the doors of that church, you're making an impact on their lives that you may never know the full scope of. And so I would love to talk with you more about India. The Deese family would love to talk to you more about India. And it's truly an incredibly faith-growing trip. And so finally, if going on a mission trip is it's just not feasible for you, or it's just not something you're feeling called to do this year, we support at CCVB over 13 different ministries and missionaries throughout the world. And every Sunday on our free resource table, we have updates, we have info cards on almost all of these missionary families and ministries. And I know from talking with them over the past couple of months, the first thing they always ask, and we always talk about, is what they need prayer for. It's not the finances, it's not anything else. It's, man, we really need you guys to be lifting us up in prayer about this. And just like Evan's parents, Brent and Diane, they need a new oven. And that's something that you don't really think about, but they had an oven for 20 years and it just broke last week. And so it's truly God choosing them to be our first missionary family that we support. So definitely challenge you guys to check in on Facebook today at some point, because we'd love to buy them a new oven. But these missionary families, these are truly the people on the front lines. They're out there, they're facing pushback every day, and honestly, the biggest way we can support them is through prayer. And so I challenge you guys to go over to our resource table and maybe pick up just one info card or prayer update and just pray for them each day. My wife and I, we have I think 3 on our fridge. So super awesome. Before I close today, I just love to tell you guys a story. Just kind of one way that God has really taught me in my walk. I've been a Christian now for a little under 8 years, and my first year as being a Christian was pretty eventful. I felt like God was calling me to go to Kenya just 6 months after I fully accepted Christ into my heart, and I felt super unprepared to go to Kenya. I don't know if you guys have been into Kenya before, but it's on another continent. That was basically my thought. Met my team, we had our team meetings, and yeah, I knew John 3:16, and they were quoting the whole Bible. I mean, I was super unprepared and just didn't really feel like I was ready for that. But kept saying yes to God, and he kept opening the doors. And so I found myself in Kenya, summer 2011, and it was pretty amazing. You get off the plane, and there is this smell in Kenya that it's not a good smell at all. It smells like burning plastic and rubber. It's pretty gross, actually, but if you've been there, you kind of fall in love with this disgusting smell. It's hard to explain, but basically we were camped out in this village. And side note, this was the first time I had ever been camping before in my entire life. Was in the African tundra, and so that was an interesting story. But this village had many mission teams visit, and they loved the missionaries. They loved us coming there. They would talk with us. But there was one group of rebellious teenagers that didn't so much like us being there. They just wanted to be rebels, and all they wanted to really do was play soccer. Well, me not really feeling like I fit in with my team, and them not really wanting to speak to any of us, we had something in common. I played soccer my entire life growing up, so every day after school I would play soccer with these boys. And long story short, by the end of the week, I was able to share my testimony of how I came to know Jesus. And two of these boys, and I'll never forget their names, they ended up accepting Christ into their life that week. And it completely changed my life, because while I felt so inadequate and so not ready to go, God was like, no, you're going for a purpose. And so I want to encourage all of you today that we're all different. We all have our testimonies. We all have different stories. We've all been created differently. So if you would just pray about going on these trips, and if he says yes, if we're faithful to what he calls us to do, he's going to be faithful every step of the way. And so I would just encourage you guys to go home, take one of our info cards. I would love to give you more information about some of these trips, some of the missionaries we support, and just pray about, man, are you God, are you wanting me to go serve? And it's not about the finances. There's ways that we can help you with that. There's fundraising letters. Just let God take care of it, and it's going to change your life. And so love to just give it off to Pastor Nate, and thank you guys so much for letting me take a few minutes of your time.